Okay, so guys, if we continue on with this, Kylie, what makes an angle acute?
It is under 90 degrees.
All right, so but it has to be greater than what value? It has to be greater than 90 or greater than 0, but less than 90. All right, Patrick, with your arms, show me what an acute angle would look like. Perfect. All right, so we're going to have, it's like it's closing up. So there's an acute angle. Cole, what is a right angle? 90 degrees. Right angle is 90 degrees. All right, Amber, with your arm, show me what a 90 degree angle. What is a right angle? Perfect. All right. Straight down, straight across. You guys, a lot of times what we'll do is we'll notate that with a little square in the corner. That's a right angle. Okay. Christina, what is obtuse? Okay, well, what about my measures?
I don't know.
What makes it obtuse?
Ask someone else.
Greater than 90, but less than 180. Okay, so obtuse is greater than 90, but less than. All right, so Lucas, what would an obtuse angle look like? That'll work for me. All right, good job. Wide open. Alexis, what is a straight angle? Alexis? 180 degrees. Very good. And let's see, who wants to be our volunteer? Kayla has her hand raised. Very good. What is a straight angle? Yes, straight out. Okay. In fact, if you think about putting your arms straight out, it's great because your head acts like the vertex.
What a great example, Mr. Thomas.
Isn't it? All right, guys, that wasn't hard, right? That's basic elementary school geometry. No, it's not gonna be that easy. All right, now, guys, there's a couple more things we need to talk about today. There's some more. There's a whole bunch of pairs. Those are titles. Angle-pair relationships. What we just did was elementary math. Now we're going to get into a little bit more complex wording and relationships. Complementary means that it adds up to 90 degrees. So there are two angles whose sum is 90 degrees. Does that tell you anything about their individual measures? Do I know that? Does that make each one automatically 45 degrees? No, it just means they add up to 90. So you can kind of think about it as taking a right angle and then having a third ray that comes in there. And these two angles here are not equal. Notice that this has a single arc and this one would have two arcs. It means that they are not the same measure. What that does tell us is if I label my points, A, B, C, and D, what that does tell me is that angle ABC plus angle CBD is 90 degrees. So complementary means 90 degrees. So Brandon, you're awfully eager. What does supplementary mean?
A couple sides that are equal to
Not equal to.
like same sides, like portion lines.
Okay, so let's do a diagram here. If I have a straight angle and I have a ray coming out of that, okay, and I have this side, and then I have this unequal side. Again, we'll label that A, B, C, D. That means that supplementary means they add up to 180. that means that angle ABC plus CBD is 180. Guys, you need to remember, complementary is 90, supplementary is 180. I cannot stress that enough. In terms of long-term knowledge for this course, these are at the top of that list. You need to know that. You need to know. It should be second nature. If I ask you, what does it mean to be complementary? You guys instantaneously need to say, adds up to 90. Should not be any delay. You shouldn't have to think about this. These two, you must know for this class. Alright, now we got a lot more to talk about here. The main one I want to do is we're going to do a demo for you. I want to talk about vertical angles. We're talking about vertical angles. Let's go back to the inspires. Again, you guys don't need to do anything.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. Just sit and watch. What I want to do here is I want to create two lines that are intersecting. Now, what shape did I just create?
An X.
An X. Guys, I can't stress this enough. Anytime you see an X, I want you guys to think one thing geometrically, and that is vertical angles. If you have an X, you have vertical angles. Something I want you guys to write down. If you have an X, you have vertical angles. And here's the important thing about vertical angles. Watch their measurements. What do you notice about these two angles? They're the same. And it's a huge point to take away from today's lesson. Vertical angles are equal. Vertical angles are always congruent. Write that down. That's a big idea for today. Vertical angles are congruent. No matter how I draw those lines, no matter how these are drawn, these two angles are always going to be congruent. So go back to our notes, vertical angles. The big idea is that they are always congruent and they look like an X. That's a really crappy X. Let's redo that. Alright, Kim?
Right.
So those vertical angles are equal. Guys, think about linear pair. What does the term linear imply? It's a line. A pair? Two. Okay, but it's not really like two lines. When we're talking about linear pair, it's two angles that make a line. Okay, so that's your pair of angles that form a line. It's called a linear pair. By the way, what does that tell you about linear pairs?
They are not.
They are supplementary based on their model. We're doing a lot of modeling. What does perpendicular lines mean? What does it mean to be perpendicular? How? Yeah, they're going to intersect at 90-degree angles. Think about the axes on a coordinate grid, those are perpendicular to one another. And the symbol for perpendicular is the upside down T. So a lot of this information is not new. The vertical angles is probably something new for a lot of you guys. All right, any questions so far on what we've covered? We don't really need to worry about that. We're running short on time, so I want to make sure we get through everything. Oops.